The old house stood silent against the darkening sky, its weathered boards creaking softly in the evening breeze. Sarah clutched her suitcase, eyes drawn to the attic window, a small dusty square of glass that seemed to watch her approach. The key in her hand felt unnaturally heavy as she unlocked the front door, stepping into her new home. The landlord's words echoed in her mind. "The rent's cheap for a reason, miss. That attic's been locked for over 40 years. If you hear voices up there, best to just ignore them." He'd chuckled, but his eyes hadn't smiled. Sarah had laughed it off then, desperate for an affordable place to start her teaching career. Now, standing in the dim hallway, a chill ran down her spine. For the first week, the house was quiet. Sarah unpacked, arranged her modest belongings, and prepared lesson plans. She almost forgot about the locked door at the top of the stairs. Almost. Then came the storm. Wind howled around the eaves as rain lashed against the windows. Sarah lay awake, listening to the tempest. That's when she heard it. A whisper, so faint she thought she'd imagined it. But there it was again, a murmur of voices from above. Too soft to make out words, but unmistakably human. Sarah pulled the covers tight, squeezing her eyes shut. "It's just the wind," she told herself. "Just the old house settling." But deep down, she knew it wasn't true. Each night, the whispers grew. Sometimes they sounded like arguments, other times like laughter, always just beyond understanding, always drawing her attention upward. Sarah found herself standing at the foot of the attic stairs, straining to hear. She'd wake with a start, realizing hours had passed. The lack of sleep began to take its toll. Dark circles formed under Sarah's eyes. Her students noticed her distraction, the way she'd pause mid-sentence, head tilted as if listening for something. At night, she'd find herself in the hallway, hand outstretched toward the locked door, with no memory of how she'd gotten there. One night, Sarah dreamed. She stood in the attic, surrounded by sheet-covered shapes. Dust motes danced in shafts of moonlight. In the corner, a rocking chair creaked back and forth, though no one sat in it. Shadowy figures crowded around her, leaning close. Their breath was cold on her skin, their whispers urgent. But when she turned to look at them, their faces were smooth and blank. Sarah woke with a gasp, heart pounding. The faint scent of dust lingered in her nostrils. She stumbled to the bathroom, splashing cold water on her face. When she looked up, her reflection seemed wrong, somehow, as if someone else was looking back at her from behind her own eyes. That morning, Sarah found a key on the kitchen table, small brass, and clearly ancient. She didn't remember putting it there, but when she picked it up, it was warm to the touch, as if someone had just been holding it. All day, the key burned in her pocket. Sarah tried to focus on her lessons, but her mind kept drifting to the locked door upstairs. By nightfall, she couldn't resist any longer. With trembling hands, she climbed the stairs and fitted the key into the lock. It turned with a soft click. The attic air was thick with the smell of old paper and forgotten things. Sarah's flashlight beam cut through the gloom, revealing stacks of boxes and furniture draped in yellowed sheets. In the center of the room stood a tall mirror, its surface clouded with age. Sarah approached it slowly, drawn by some unseen force. As she gazed into the glass, her reflection sharpened. But she wasn't alone. Behind her, pale faces emerged from the shadows. Dozens of them, pressed close, their eyes fixed on her. A figure stepped forward in the mirror. Its lips moved, and Sarah heard a whisper as clear as if it were spoken directly into her ear. "Now you know." Cold hands gripped her shoulders. Sarah tried to scream, but no sound came out. The attic door slammed shut with a finality that echoed through her bones. In the mirror, her own face joined the others. Another secret keeper, another whisper in the night. Days later, a young man unlocked the front door of the old house. The landlord's warning about the attic rang in his ears as he carried his bags inside. That night, as he lay in bed, he heard it. Faint whispers from above, and among them, a new voice. A woman's voice, speaking secrets she'd never told anyone in life. The whispers grew louder, and the cycle began anew.